Welcome. This is a bedtime yoga deep hip stretch for tension and flexibility. We'll begin laying, taking the feet mat width distance, and just gently rocking the knees side to side, rolling over the glutes, over the sacrum, massaging the lower back. We'll keep the right foot planted on the mat, taking the left ankle to the top of the right thigh. You can stay right here. You can interlace your fingers behind that right thigh, hugging the legs towards the chest for a supine pigeon pose. Keeping the feet flexed so you get the whole benefit of this pose. And you can even rock side to side if that feels good. And we'll gently release, switching sides, so taking that right ankle to the top of the left thigh this time. And you can stay right here flexing the feet, or you can hug the legs towards the chest. And we'll release, straightening the left leg and crossing over that right knee towards the left side of the mat. Back stays flat on the mat for a supine twist. Option here to modify, you can place pillows underneath that right knee, as many as you need. You can also place a pillow or folded blanket underneath that right shoulder for less of a twist. Listen to the body here, and if this doesn't feel right, go ahead and come into something that feels best for you today. Using your inhales to really create that space, maybe in the chest, in the lower back. Observing the body here, and with each exhale, allowing yourself to surrender, even if it's just for a moment. We'll inhale to release, switching sides. So just straightening the right leg and just crossing that left knee over towards the right. Option to modify here if needed, or come to something that feels best for you. And once again, using your inhales, creating that space, that much needed space, As you exhale, softening the body wherever you can, just for a moment, even just for a moment. In time, we'll get there. And we'll release, hugging the knees towards the chest. Big hug, big squeeze. Maybe rock side to side. And we'll come all the way up into a tabletop pose, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, dropping the belly, take your gaze up for cow pose. Exhale, rounding through the spine, take your gaze down for cat. Syncing breath with movement, flowing at your own pace. We'll come to a neutral spine, walking the hands forward, rounding through the spine on an inhale. As you come all the way down to your belly, resting on the forearms, elbows in line with the shoulders. For a gentle back bend, getting into the front body here, the psoas, really pressing the pubic bone into the mat, protecting the lower back, so tucking that tailbone. An option to gently find some movement here, looking over one shoulder and then looking over the other. We'll plant the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, sending the hips up for down dog. Option to bend the knees here. You can bend one, bend the other, pressing the mat away from you. Engage that core, so be strong here. Add a little bit of strength into your practice today. On an inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, planting it between the hands, planting that right knee all the way down, coming into a low lunge. Now you can have your hands on a block, or you can have your hands resting on your left knee. So just lifting the torso slightly. Staying wherever you feel comfortable. Option also to skip this pose. Leading with the chest here, so lifting the sternum. Doing your best not to round the spine. I like to keep my gaze forward. On your next inhale, tuck the toes and lift that right knee. And just kind of pulse forward and back. Just your own ability here, if that feels good. If not, stay in your low lunge. And we'll go ahead and step that left foot back, coming into your down dog. A bit of a challenging transition here if you're just beginning the practice, but in time it'll come. Take your time with each movement. On your next inhale, go ahead and lift that right leg, planting that right foot between the hands, planting the left knee to the mat, low lunge. Lifting through the sternum, doing your best not to round the spine, so keeping that nice neutral spine. Option to prop your hands up on some blocks. This will take some of the intensity away. And you can stay here or tuck the back toes, lifting that left knee, and just take your pulses here forward and back, just very slight movement. Use a bit of your strength here, stepping the right foot back, coming into your down dog. Walk it out, feel out the pose. Notice how the body's feeling. I like to take my feet hip width distance and just really pressing the hips towards the heels, bending the knees. And then we'll plant the knees to the mat, untuck the toes, sending the hips towards the heels, forehead or cheek to the mat for child's pose. Option to modify here, placing a pillow between the hips and heels. You can even place pillows underneath the torso for added height and support. Taking this one moment out of your practice to just be, to soften the body wherever you can. Inhale, rounding up one vertebrae at a time. Let the head come up last. We'll inhale the hands up overhead. As you exhale, taking a twist towards your left. Now you can take your twist seated in any comfortable position. Doesn't have to be on your knees. An option here in your twist to take a bind with that left hand if that is in your practice. No pressure. And we'll gently release, inhaling the hands up overhead. Exhale, twisting towards the right. Inhale to sit tall. Exhale to soften the shoulders. Option to take a bind, if that's in your practice. On your next inhale, reaching the hands up overhead. Exhale, release the hands back down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale down. Inhale, reach. Exhale this time, hands to heart center. Thank you for joining. Namaste. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it below, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates on future videos and live streams.